Here's another in Dennis Daly's multi-part series on his favorite 25 radio shows from the medium's golden age. Here's Dennis.
In the number 12 position, The Classic Adventures of Sherlock Holmes.
And now for our weekly visit with the genial Dr. Watson. Good evening, Doctor.
Good evening, Mr. Foreman. Come in and settle yourself down.
Thank you. You're looking particularly comfortable tonight, Doctor. Feet up on the sofa and the puppies asleep on your lap.
Yes, my boy. The three of us went for a long walk on the beach this afternoon. And Monty and Winnie had a running battle with the seagulls. In consequence, they've been fast asleep ever since we got home.
Well, I hope you're not too tired, Doctor. I'm counting on a new Sherlock Holmes story, you know.
No. I'm all ready for you, Mr. Foreman. In fact, I was going through my notes on the case just before you arrived.
Sherlock Holmes, like The Shadow, was one of the earliest shows in network radio. But it is the series that ran from 1939 through 1947 with Basil Rathbone and Nigel Bruce we remember best. And each episode began with Dr. Watson in his retirement years reminiscing. Then quickly they went to the plot, and Sherlock Holmes took complete control.
Undoubtedly, Julian Trevor's death last night was an accident. You fetched a doctor, Lady Brownlee, a very natural move, and later discovered that the doctor in question was the old friend of Sherlock Holmes. You were all afraid that I would become interested in your unusual society, and so you invented that very thin story about the accident being a murder. You wanted to lure me here so that I could be disposed of.
The radio show was immensely popular because Basil Rathbone and Nigel Bruce were making so many Sherlock Holmes movies at the same time. The year before that series ended, Basil Rathbone left. He felt he was being typecast. Nigel Bruce stayed on, and Tom Conway stepped in as Sherlock Holmes. Listen to how good he sounded.
Tell me, Harker, since you're from the West Indies and obviously a lover of music, I presume you're familiar with some of the primitive melodies indigenous to that part of the world? Some of the tribal chants, for instance?
Oh, yes, sir. I know many of them.
Perhaps you'd play some at the concert.
There were more incarnations of Sherlock Holmes on radio than any other plot line. The BBC even did one with John Gielgud and Ralph Richardson. On that one, Orson Welles played Professor Moriarty. The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, my 12th favorite old-time radio show.
Listen again for another in Dennis Daly's multi-part series on his favorite 25 radio shows from the medium's golden age.